What's up, everybody? Tyler Pyburn here with Phil DiMartino from 5 Tool Productions. Today, talking Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the same thing that basically everybody in the entire world is talking about. Facebook Live. And you know who's talking about it the most? Facebook.
Yeah, no, that's why everyone
You just
else is
wrote a
talking.
post about it and just how much Facebook is talking about Facebook. It's pretty awesome.
So it feels like it's their number one priority right now.
Yeah.
Right. Back in October, they launched and continue to run this massive traditional marketing campaign. So you've got billboards on highways, you've got all these TV commercials, you've got magazine ads, you've got bus wraps, everything. I mean, they're all in with a big spend.
Hard. And the thing was, their last earnings call, they talk about, I mean, they're always looking to the future, what's going to be big. And again, Zuckerberg says how big live video is going to be and is right now.
Right. And he's convinced that in the future, in the year 2000, in the future, he thinks that video is the internet, right? Like video is going to comprise the majority of the internet.
What did someone say? I mean, it's one of those kind of crazy stats, but by the year 2020, that 2/3 of the internet is going to be strictly video.
Right, and it makes sense, right? You're carrying around a high-def video camera in your pocket, and you know, data has changed, so you're not as afraid of using data and everything like that. So everyone's more eager to upload. Internet connections are better. Wi-Fi is everywhere. There's a lot of reasons for it, so it makes sense. I think the specific questions around Facebook Live are, you know, is it a good enough product to, first of all, why are they going all in specifically on live and not just on their video player, et cetera? And is it a good enough product long-term to kind of beat out, for the average user and the marketer, competitors like Instagram Stories, which they also own.
As I say, they own, so it's not even a competitor,
right.
It's theirs.
But it's another venue that people
Which they're
use.
talking about using that live now as well. That just rolled out the other day.
And Snapchat, right, obviously, which it seems like Live is kind of a direct answer to based on the advertising campaign. And then actually the creators of Vine are releasing a new app as well, which is kind of in that same space, live, fun, trying to get people on board with just being authentic and quick. But I think for our purposes, we're talking about marketers, right?
Yeah.
And the question is Live a better product for marketers than some of those other products?
It was interesting. I had a conversation with a friend of mine that's not in the media industry, television industry at all. He's a personal trainer. And we were talking about live. And one of the things he was saying is that he actually hates live. He said, because I feel like every single person now thinks they are their own TV station. Well, guess what? As a marketer, you are your own media company.
Right.
You are a TV station. That quote to me resonated from someone that's not in the industry, could really care less.
Right.
He just felt annoyed because he felt annoyed by the person that was, you know, at the bar going live, showing me exactly what they're doing, you know, drinking and funneling 10 beers at a time, as opposed to a different mindset of a brand. CrossFit's a great example, right? Use CrossFit as an example because they go live and literally thousands of people tune in to watch the games,
matter what
to watch
they're
different
showing,
events. Literally just sitting at the talking about different athletes.
Right.
They're showing that, they're streaming it live, and if you actually look at their view count, it's crazy the amount of people that watch that stuff. So brands are media companies by it, people are as well, but the brands are utilizing it to really become a live television station in a sense.
No, and the barrier to entry to go live and connect immediately with an audience is just gone. I mean, even 5 years ago, there's this huge barrier to entry to do something like a live high quality video broadcast, and now there is no barrier at all. I mean, you can do it immediately, anyone with your phone, and you can do a produced broadcast way easier than you could in the past as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So the barrier to do these things has just hit the floor.
Well, we've seen this firsthand because we've been doing this for so long, right? I mean, I remember when we first started and we were like, oh yeah, we could put this video up on live, and it was really only things like live stream. You could kind of you know, make your own type of CDN. But what was really interesting is that, you know, more things about, you know, YouTube kind of failed at live a little bit at first, but they're kind of releasing it out a little bit more now. But YouTube has kind of come out with it, and now with Facebook kind of rolling this out, it's gotten so easy and so quick. I mean, we remember the companies that we've done work with, how much, you know, our company would have to charge for it. It's different, which is kind of why we started what we did. But it's, like you said, barrier entry is just so low now.
Yeah, and you mentioned ease of use. I think that's a great point because that's probably why Facebook didn't quite maybe catch on as much as why YouTube didn't catch on as much as Facebook did. Facebook is all in an app. It's simple. It's one button push. YouTube always felt a little more complicated. Not complicated by any stretch, but just you don't want to put any obstacles in front of people. And I think Facebook has done a really good job making it very, very simple.
Well, for anybody watching right now, ask yourself this. You might not even have the slightest clue. How do you go live on YouTube?
I
mean, it's
yeah.
tough to know without really diving into it. Unless you're a production person, if you're just a user of Facebook, you know how to go live.
Well,
that to me is a biggie.
And that's the thing, YouTube never made it a priority the way Facebook has. And you talk about the ad campaign, and that's just kind of proof for it. But also, you see the fact that the way they've treated notifications, right? When someone who you're friends with goes live, you get a notification. It might be annoying to you, and you talk about things like organic reach and why this is important. And organic reach, since Facebook introduced advertising years ago, has consistently gone down and down and down. And live is one of those really first opportunities to gain back a little bit of that organic reach without paying. Obviously, that's not going to last forever, and you still need to have a paid social strategy at this point. But it's a little bit of a way to gain back at least a little bit of a chunk of that audience without spending money by doing something relatively simple, which is probably music to a lot of people's ears, as long as they're not scared. As long as they're not scared of it.
Well, what's interesting, a company in particular that I'd highly advise you to follow, just for the reason to see what they're doing, is called Cheddar. You and I talked about it, and it's really interesting because they basically have created an entire TV show, a TV channel, station,
network,
if you will, entire network called Cheddar, and it's only done by Facebook Live. They're basically they built a studio essentially in the New York Stock Exchange. I saw them because they ran an ad at first, not even promoting their content. It was just saying, hey, we're live right now.
Right.
So I was like, hey, who's this company that's literally running a Facebook ads announcing that they're live at that point in time? So I caught on to it. I was like, okay, this is interesting how it works. But here's the thing. I started following. Yes, I'm a production geek, so I follow it for that reason. Not the reason why the majority of people watch it, but to find out what's going on in the New York Stock Exchange.
Of course.
But I'm watching
You're not
thinking to myself,
worried about the stocks? You're not a big day trader?
I don't have any money for that, so, I have a little, I keep it in the jar above my refrigerator. That's about it. But here's the thing. When you look at this company in particular, what they're doing and how they're rolling it out, they're kind of changing the game, and there's kind of a slap in the face to, like, MSNBC.
Right.
These other big companies. Here's the thing. Little small guys, they actually did a tour of their back end to show exactly what's going on behind the scenes. And it was an old audio board. It was just a regular basic switcher. It wasn't something. It was something that you see at like a cable access station. It wasn't something you'd see at a major network.
But it was great.
It was basic stuff. The content looks great across the screen. They've got professional hosts. They do a really good job with their stuff. And what I look at that is, guess what? You don't have to just go and pay MSNBC to go sponsor their show. You can become your own show now with Facebook Live and get in front of a good audience too, and that's the key.
For sure. And I think the big difference with Facebook Live compared to whenever the hot new app comes out and people talk about getting on it is that it's part of Facebook, right? And it seems obvious to say it, but it's not. And it's not something that's necessarily going to go away as quickly as some of these apps that show up and everyone's hot on it for 10 minutes or 2 weeks.
Meerkat.
And then it
Meerkat's a great example. I used it a little bit.
Yeah.
It was once in a while, but it kind of seemed, when was the last time you really heard about Meerkat?
Right.
No offense, I thought it was a great app. I really did, but it just kind of
even Periscope, which has the backing of Twitter, has fell off a little bit. But Facebook Live, it's integrated in Facebook.
You should the backbone of Facebook too.
Right, exactly. So, you should never get too obsessed or married to one specific tool, and obviously kind of the positive impact you're seeing and like the bump you're seeing from Live is going to go down over time. But right now and for the foreseeable future, it's an easy way to gain some followers, gain a little bit of an audience, and get out in front of people in a way that you couldn't before this came out. So don't assume it's going to be a golden ticket, a perfect solution forever, but it's there and it's something that can help you. Don't ignore other things, to go all in on it.
It's a part of your entire marketing
and it should
strategy.
be an important part of your tool belt, at least right now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, he's Phil. I'm Tyler. 5 Tool Productions, video podcast. Next time, we'll see you then. I said that backwards. All right, we'll see you then.